somewhere.
Hello, everyone. Oh, it's so wonderful to be here and see you all. It just feels really special to start this year's Pride with its theme of March for Peace, visiting the beacon of hope. That just feels so important that we have hope today. And I'd like to give a bit of a shout out to Darren Hamilton, who created that garment of peace, and Zizi, who walked so beautifully. Thank you both. think we should also mention our house band, the Noir Tones. And also, I just wondered if you would do me a favour. There's a lot of people watching this at home on live stream, and I thought we could just say hello to them. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Hello, wherever you are. I don't know where they are. Also, it feels really important this year to send some love and hope to our LGBT family in places of war and conflict, especially to Syria, Ukraine, Afghanistan, and my thoughts are also with Pakistan today. So, how has your Pride been this year? Oh, only okay. For me, it's felt somebody's doing an oggy 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 over there. I don't think I've heard that. Okay, let's not go down the oggy 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 road. So for me, this has felt really special because of COVID and because of being away. I haven't actually managed to get back on this stage for about 3 years, so it's really lovely to be back. And this is my 3rd time on this stage this weekend, and the first time I haven't got my tits out. But hey, the night is still young. So, thinking about peace, I was thinking, who gets to have peace? Does our LGBTQIA community get to have peace? We've got a long history of fighting for equality, fighting for our rights, and fighting for our survival. And I think it's really important that we remember that the LGBT movement has successfully created so much social and legal change. But the fight goes on. And the fight goes on so that our family can feel safe and respected. Not just the white, cisgendered, able-bodied members of that family. There is so much more we need to do so that we can create peace for all of us. So for those who haven't been here before, welcome. And those who come nearly every year, lovely to see you all. And tonight we come together to remember and celebrate those we have lost and the fights we have fought. And let's face it, we could do with some peace. Manchester needs some peace because we have kept it up for 4 nights. The reason being is because you're so loud. I mean, can you just remind me of how loud you actually get? I mean, that's loud. So I was thinking, I wanted to do something with you tonight to kind of mark this idea of peace. And I was reminded of my choir boy days in church. I don't know if anybody else here joined a choir just so they could wear a long flowing gown on a Sunday. Oh, just me then. Okay. So there was a point in, I mean, the church, it all felt very traditional and, I mean, a little bit dull. But there was a point in the service where we kind of all interacted. And I thought, I'd really like to do that with you. But we're going to queer it up a little bit. And, yeah, of course. And also, this is something that you can do with each other. If you just look around to the person on your left, send them some love. And then you look around on the person on your right, send them some love. Maybe the person in front of you, the person behind you. Let's get the spirit of, we are here, it's a special event and we're all together. I mean, I know I'm on stage in a fabulous dress, but we are all together. So, this was what they used to do in church and I loved it. I'm going to say, peace be with you. And you're going to shout back, and also with you, gorgeous. Are you ready? My darlings. Peace be with you. Lovely. I basically just did that so that 5,000 people would say I look gorgeous. Truth be known. So tonight, can we just enjoy being together and creating some peace within this space tonight? It feels really important that we come together and that we connect before we have to go back out there and start that march for peace all over again. I love you. Have an amazing vigil. There's some amazing work coming up. We're about to see some films from Right to Remain, and they're going to share some of their really important and hard-earned stories. So have an amazing vigil.
Asylum seekers who reached the UK after crossing the English Channel in small boats are to be sent to Rwanda in a controversial new immigration deal.
Immigration is the #1 issue in British politics. It has been for some years. So people are very upset, they're very unhappy, they're seeing the impact on local schools, they're seeing the impact on GP services, they're seeing the impact on housing or the inability of young people to get on the housing ladder. So that's why it's the #1 issue.
Up and down this country, people want to ensure that the government is taking action against those people who are here in this country illegally. Those people who are here illegally.
Those who travel to the UK by illegal and dangerous routes, including by small boats across the Channel, may be relocated to Rwanda, where they will have their asylum claims considered.
This innovative approach, driven by our shared humanitarian impulse and made possible by Brexit freedoms, will provide safe and legal routes for asylum while disrupting the business model of the gangs.
There was particular reference to LGBTQ plus groups, and the Home Office admitted that they could potentially be at risk if they are sent. I'm just going to read you this one about trans people. It says, they may face greater risk of ill treatment such as arbitrary arrests and detention.
A friend of mine once told me that we see each other better with our eyes closed. So let's close our eyes right now so that we can see.
I just want to tell my story. I was born in Chimoio, Mozambique. I grew up as a tomboy. My mother would buy me dresses, but I had a brother, and I liked to wear his clothes instead. I started playing with another girl, a pastor's daughter, and the girl actually told her father that I tried to kiss her. I was taken to the Holy Father, the priest. They said I was demon-possessed. They were casting away these demons by beating me.
I grew up like this. I used to play football with the boys, not girls. No girls played football. My uncle supported me to do this. I liked this girl, and some boys saw me in her. Then I stopped playing football because boys harassed me. When I was 15, a man raped me. People were acting like I was the problem. I told my uncle, but not everything, not the rape, because I wanted him to see me the way he sees me. I wanted him to look at me with that love.
I'm a Muslim from a big family. I went to a boarding school and got caught in a compromising position with my girlfriend, Ola. A few weeks later, I woke up with hot coals on my chest. My aunt did that because she thought I was possessed. My aunt reported me to my dad, who was a magistrate, an imam. I was in a tight corner. Then My girlfriend Ola and I were caught by a neighbour who screamed. We ran, but Ola was caught because she didn't know my area. I tried to see her, but I couldn't. And then I got a call that she was beaten to death. After I heard about Ola's death, I had bad pains. I went to buy painkillers. I heard voices. There's the evil girl, the imam's daughter. And they almost caught me, screaming bad names at me. I ran for my life. I called my friend where I'd been staying, but she'd heard what happened. Told me I couldn't come back. I begged, but no. I called my sister, but she said my dad had said not to have anything to do with me. With the work he was doing, it was a big slap in his face.
After I had been raped, I started to do badly at school. I had been a good student, the youngest and the brightest, but I stopped school for 3 years, and I tried to kill myself a few times. Now, I'm 17, 18, and I liked girls, not hiding it. A girl and I went through a ceremony, cattle for dowry. The man who raped me was interested in the same girl, so he raped me again.
After the beatings because of the pastor's daughter, I was supposed to get married. I told my husband, I don't feel that I want to have sex with you. But he would force me. He'd say, you're fine. It's just in your mind. Later on, my husband was sick. Eventually, I realized it was HIV. He died. I went home. My tribe, the Undao, is connected to Renamo, the rebels in Mozambique. When I opened a beauty salon, people said we were looking after the rebels. So one day, government soldiers came to my salon. I was working with this lady. One soldier just went to that lady and started raping her in front of everybody. I was screaming for them to just leave this girl, but another soldier pushed me down. I'm down there, and he's just taking out his pants. I'm screaming, the only word that came out of my mouth, you can do whatever you want, but I'm HIV positive. And the man just sat down on me, holding a lit cigarette, and he started putting his lit cigarette on me, which I have marks to this day. The Home Office saw that. They didn't care.
When I left South Africa, I told my mother I was just going to a wedding here in the UK. I didn't tell my uncle. I stayed with my aunt. I went to an engagement party, and there was this white girl there, and we ended up kissing. My aunt found out, and she started calling me the names they did back home. Satanic, demonic. I withdrew. I liked music, withdrew into that. I wanted to kill myself so much.
Although my father, the imam, had disowned me, still I asked my sister to help me get travel dogs. At first, she refused. But people in our village were bullying my family because of me. So she did help me to escape to the UK. I learnt about Asylum during my therapy for trauma. I applied. I had problems during COVID because I caught COVID. And if you tested positive, you weren't allowed to use the kitchens or get deliveries. So it was up to charities, like Lesbian Immigration Support Group, to get food and microwaves so I could eat.
I came to the UK to save my life. And I thought I would be able to work. I have a master's degree. The worst thing is that I'm not able to contribute. It's soul destroying, worse than prison. When you go to prison, you know you'll be there for 5 years, 20 years. Claiming asylum is not a crime. Living in limbo, you don't know when you'll get out. I haven't seen my children in 4 years.
I came to the UK looking for peace. But 3 months after I got here, my brother called me. The government soldiers had pushed my mother into a ditch and broke her ribs. They wanted me to come back, the one who had helped the rebels, so I decided to seek asylum before my visa ended. I told about the government soldiers. I couldn't tell anybody about my sexuality, not even my friends, until I met Maggie and Thomas from Right to Remain. She introduced me to These Walls Must Fall campaign, and they introduced me to LGBT groups. I started to come to meetings, and I was able to speak out as who I am, to tell everybody. I went back to court. They said, now Mozambique is okay, you can go back. I said, I've come out with my sexuality, and in Mozambique, they don't allow this. I'm not yet free. It's not okay.
I was wondering, lost. But then I met Vicky from Women Asylum Seekers Together, and I told her what was happening. She told me about people seeking asylum and the lesbian immigration support group. She understood me. I opened up to her about wanting to kill myself. LISG helped me. Within a year, I got my stay. I applied for a job. I'm in a good state now. I'm a senior manager helping young people, sometimes with their mental health, and I am changing them. I'm proud of myself.
What gives me hope and joy is meeting other women who are also going through this. It's encouraging to know you're not alone. Also, when you volunteer, you're contributing in some way.
Yeah.
For me, I'm a Christian, so going to church with all sorts of people gives me joy.
I am learning to love myself. In my endeavor to hide my sexuality, I became homophobic towards myself. But with the help of fellow lesbians in the UK, I'm unlearning the self-hate. My journey towards self-acceptance has been fraught with shame and frustration, and my emotions still fray at times, but I have learned to speak up for myself, to campaign for the rights of lesbian and bisexual migrants, and to encourage them to keep going. Those who sought to destroy my life did not win, for I am here today, still a lesbian to the core, and grateful for the protection of my rights in this country where I am living openly as a lesbian. We speak in order to heal.
All of you out there listening, soul to soul with us, open your eyes. We're here with you tonight in Manchester. Manchester that's helping us win our lives as queer migrants, that's helping us heal, that's helping us find peace, and there is more to do.
Hello, Manchester. Thank you for listening to our stories. Those are our real life stories. Just a little bit of what we have gone through and what we continue to go through. And now that you have heard our stories, perhaps you realize that they're different from what you've been hearing in the news. We are here to change the narrative that refugees and people seeking sanctuary in this country are here to play the system. We are not here to play the system. We are here for our safety. We travel miles and miles to come find peace in the UK. And then the UK Home Office, they do not always allow us to. They are very, 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 very hostile towards us. And so I want to ask you tonight, what can you do to help us now that you know a little bit about us? We want you to come and be our allies, to fight with us, to join us, to help us along. For instance, you can follow us on social media. On site, our handles are such as Right to Remain, and Migrant Fund, GM, and Walls Must Fall. Do it now. You can do it now. Please get out your phones. There's no hurry. Please get out your phones now. Do it. At Right to Remain on Twitter, on Facebook, at Walls Must Fall, at Migrant Fund GM. Show your solidarity on social media so that when we need you, we can easily find you. For instance, when we announce on our newsfeed that there's a raid in our area to detain a migrant like us, because the Home Office will do raids to arrest us and detain us and put us in limbo for years and years for no reason at all, then you can spread the news and come and block such raids. We cannot block such raids ourselves, as it may compromise our immigration status. And so we need your support, we need your solidarity. We also need you whenever there is a petition to support one of our own. You can sign the petitions, you can share them in your socials amongst your groups. And also you can join us on our protest marches, which we often hold in such places such as Dallas Court and wherever it is that we want to fight the hostile environment that the Home Office continues to treat us. We are so many of us that are going through so much in Manchester, in Greater Manchester, and we need you in different ways. So please do come and become our ally, our friend, and fight on our side. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you so much, Manchester. It's not all the time that migrants, refugees, and asylum seekers are given such a big platform to tell their stories. You have made us proud. We really appreciate this. Right, I work for Right to Remain. And Right to Remain started with one person who had these kind of stories. And they went back home and they decided, what can we do? So what they did was to release this toolkit, which is a lifeline for those seeking asylum. And this toolkit has been going on for over 10 years. Because those who are seeking asylum, they are not told when they get to this country how hostile, what they're going to go through, whether they will end up homeless or destitute or without food and everything. As you've heard these stories, we have women here who have not seen their children for more than 5 years. So this toolkit has been used by 250,000 of people who are seeking asylum. It has been very useful to their cases, and it's still ongoing. When we started with the toolkits, we still had some complaints, and we still had some people were asking us, what more can we do? Because people were being detained, they were being deported. From everyone that we were helping who were seeking asylum, LGBTQ people were facing hostile environment more than anybody else in this city. We have something that is called threefold trauma. A trauma that they suffer from home, a trauma that they suffer on the journey coming here, and the trauma that they're suffering here. They are your neighbors. There is a lot that they're going through right now because of Home Office. We are talking about Rwanda right now. Among the organizations that we are working with, directly and indirectly, as Right to Remain, we started These Walls Must Fall campaign because we wanted a practical support on the ground. We wanted our members to tell their stories so that you understand them. We cannot defeat the news. We don't have the platform. We cannot defeat the newspapers. We don't have the platform. But that's why we are appreciating what Manchester Pride did today. a few organizations that we have worked with, that we are working with, that you can get yourself involved with. We are working with them directly and indirectly because all the help goes to people who are seeking asylum. But remember most, those who are LGBT, because it's really difficult to prove your sexuality. And that's what Home Office is looking for. We are working with GMIU, Greater Manchester Immigration Aid Unit. They always offer free legal advice. We also work with Manchester No Borders. They are also responsible to take our members when they're going for reporting, signing, where they can be detained and deported any minute. We are also working with Master Tree. They always offer clothes, toiletries, and food because some of them they cannot be given the money, £35 or even more, and some of them they're not liable for any funds. So Master Tree, you guys, if you can take your clothes to Master Tree, you'll be helping many people. If you take some toiletries to Master Tree, you'll be helping many people. We are also working with Refugee Action. We are working with Women Asylum Seekers Together. We are working with LISC, which always offers social support for women, for lesbian women and bisexual women. I think Rachel has mentioned as well Migrant Destitute Fund. They also offer some funds for those women who might, or for women and men who might be destitute because Home Office didn't believe their stories. And then one good man that we are also going to remember tonight, unfortunately, he passed on. He was a great man in Manchester. He refused. We have tried so many times to have him nominated for any voluntary work, and he refused. And that is Philip Jones. Philip was a man who dedicated his life supporting us. He listened to our stories. He campaigned. He was an anchor of hope in the midst of a sea of despair. We are sad he's no longer with us, but tonight we celebrate with you all. Thank you for making us feel so welcome, Manchester. Before I go, I want to ask you a question. And that is a question that has made many of our friends destitute. That is a question that has made many of our friends detained and deported. How do you prove your sexuality?
Manchester, please join Jane and myself thanking these women for letting us share their stories with you tonight. Tonight's vigil is about peace. But right now, I want you to make some noise to tell the Home Office that refugees and asylum seekers are welcome here.
Refugees, welcome here. Refugees, welcome here. Refugees, welcome here. Refugees, welcome here. Refugees are welcome here. Refugees, welcome here. Refugees are welcome here. Refugees are welcome here.
Manchester, tonight there is a place for us, and that place is right here and right now. And so, tonight, as we check we've got our candles with us and we prepare to fall silent in honor of all those we've lost, I want to say right here and right now that I remember our lives 40 years ago. I remember the sorrow, I remember the rage. I remember that when the first people began to die, we always used to say when it was finally over, well, at least he is at peace now. I remember the first time that I ever helped to lay out another man's body. When it was done, I leaned over and I whispered in his ear, "Rest in peace." I said to him, "Go now, it's over, rest in peace." And you know, 40 years later, 40 years on, I stand here and I wonder why I said that. I wonder, have you ever asked yourself, why do we always say, rest in peace? We never say, live in peace. Why do we only use that word when someone is dead? And I know, I'm not stupid. I know it's really hard to use the word peace in this country of ours right now. It's really hard when you read the newspapers and they're spewing out exactly the same hate as they used 40 years ago, just pointed at someone new. It really makes you feel as though that hate never went away, although it's as if it's just been lying there for 40 years waiting for someone else to dig it up and use it all over again. And when I read that hate, when I hear the deliberate creation by our so-called leaders of misery and fear, you know what? I don't want anyone else to have to wait until they're dead. I don't want a single one of my lovers or friends or family. I don't want a single one of my trans sisters or brothers, and especially tonight, I don't want a single one of those young women and men who are crossing the channel in the dark and hoping against hope that this country of ours might be a safe place for their children. I don't want any of them to have to wait until they're dead to know what peace is. No, I say right here and right now, in the name of everyone I lost, in the name tonight of all our dear departed, in the name of the lovers, the sons, and all the Holy Ghosts, I say, what about some peace now? What about some peace here? At Manchester, as I see the candles coming on, as I hear the silence collecting, I am not going to cry. I'm going to listen. Because if you need fuel for the struggle, ask the dead. If you need courage, ask the dead. Trust me, the men I knew had plenty of it. If you need laughter, trust me, they knew all about that too. Yes, in the silence tonight, have the courage to hear the departed speak. Let them tell us that love is stronger than death, that justice is richer than injustice, that peace is more beautiful than violence. Let the dead tell us what they know, which is that when we are together, peace begins when we come together. This country discovers peace. Thank you for the difference you make by being here tonight. And when that silence comes, stay close to each other, stay strong, and stay safe. Manchester, it is an honour to be with you. Thank you.
My name is Graham Charles Giles, also known as Gracie, Dame Gracie. Being a homosexual, I thought when I left school it was all wrong and everything else. And I used to run away a lot. I'd run away to Manchester when I was 14, and I just boarded the train and got off wherever it finished, which was Manchester. And I used to sleep rough in Piccadilly Gardens. And I didn't want to go back home. I tried, but I just didn't fit at all. And I was ostracised by the entire family because I was a puff. Many years ago, as we all have our pasts, I used to be a drag queen. And I raised a lot of money, raised about $250,000 in all together, doing drag shows for HIV and AIDS. I was so appalled that somebody could be put in a hospital bed and in a tent. There was no radio, no television, and all they did was lay there and die. You know? And I just couldn't get it out of my mind at all. And it was like the bank holiday, and I said, why don't we try to raise some money? You know, everyone's having fun, all of us gay people, let's do something. And I just wanted, in my inner self, I just wanted to shout out that I'm gay, I'm proud, and I'm fed up of people not accepting me for who I am and what I am, that I am a person, I am here, living flesh. You can pinch me, I'm a living person. I'm not no different to nobody else. The only thing different is my bed habits. No, I want to help these poor people lying in bed with nothing.
That was the one and only Dame Gracie. My name's Greg Thorpe, and for 6 years I ran the Superbia project, the arts and culture programme at Manchester Pride. Thank you. And during those fantastic years, all of the communities that I worked with could tell the story of the Stonewall Rebellion and the amazing things that happened there. And so few, myself included, knew the story of Dame Gracie and the story of the activism that his generation did for us right here in Manchester. And the Dame Gracie Memorial Project hopes to rectify this by sharing the story of Gracie and his generation however we can, including through this beautiful film by Gemma O'Brien and a book that we'll publish later this year. And as you can hear, Gracie was a teenage runaway, an activist, a drag queen, a fundraiser, a fabulous troublemaker. And we want to pay tribute to the memory of what Gracie did for us. And this project has come about through meeting Gracie's best friend, Attractor Kelly, who really brings to life for me in our conversations the spirit of Gracie. And I'm going to invite Attractor to speak to you tonight.
Hi everyone. In the 8 years that I knew Dame Gracie, he became my best friend and soulmate. For those who are unaware, Gracie was one of the 4 to start Mardi Gras, which has become today's Manchester Pride. Gracie performed drag for many years to raise money for people with AIDS. Gracie managed to raise a total of £250,000, which went towards TVs, fridges and radios for the AIDS wards. I'll always treasure my memories of Gracie, and I am pleased to remember his important contribution to the gay community at the vigil tonight. Thank you so much.
I'm sure in my own way, I'm an artist. It's me expressing myself. I've expressed myself through nature and through the flowers and the grasses. I've created a garden which is an expression of me because I put my heart and soul into it. And when I see it bloom, even I step back in amazement of exactly what I've created.
In this heart lies for you a lark born only for you, who sings only to you, my love, my love, my love. I am waiting for you, only to adore you. My heart is for you, my love, my love, my love. This is my grief for you, quilted history. We owe so much to you who are determined to live, to you who sewed your friends' names into quilted history, forged fabric from their favorite dress, who still went out dancing with the memory of him twirling, diamante flashing as he moved, a shooting star gone in a wink of an eye. I think of the way you sat at desks for hours, scrolling staccato stories of strangers' suspicions into logbooks. Your pen, a needle, threading the word worried through lined pages of people who feared blood transfusions, of lovers forced into seclusion, of hoax calls from the disillusioned who dubbed you darling with venom and hung up. My fingers brush over the gentle indent your pen carved nearly 30 years ago. New Year's Eve, 1993. You'd written no calls, a happy new year to all. I smiled when I read that. This phone logbook turned diary with the growing infrequency of worry. I'm glad you celebrated the little victories in between writing your friends' eulogies. I think of you who are spat out from society like loose teeth, who cried so much for your chosen family you had no tears left to weep, who decided to rage, rage, rage against the dying of the light, and were battered with batons every time you tried to fight. You who were bruised by a God of grace. You who felt those books pelted at your face. We watched ghosts of the past slip silk-like into a show of love and death, sex treated like a sin. A young lad imprisoned in a place like Monsal rattles a locked hospital door. We listen as those clicks echo in sterile corridors. This story won TV awards. But when a chief constable snarled the word cesspit, there was truth behind the poignant script. Patients became prisoners, cursed artifacts, skin marked with blotches of black. And some of you were familiar with a different kind of needlework, had accidentally stitched something sinister into skin. It was, you say, a lucky setback. HIV hemmed the rough edges of a lifestyle that would have left you on the street. Others were never saved by it, but learned to live with medication embroidered into the fabric of their lives. The virus no longer meant saying premature goodbyes. At times, you felt like you'd lost a place at the table, wrenched like cloth by some invisible magician, but queer sedition had already paved a way. They who snipped through stigma and shame, so black and brown bodies could be woven back together the same. This quilted history is a rope thrown to those adrift in the sea. It leads them back to land and lets them live free. If you haven't already lit your candles, we'd now like to invite you to do that. So here we stand, candles threaded like gold sequins through our hands. Each flame glitters with diamante demands, fires that bear the souls at rest somewhere, waltzing in the peace and quiet and open air. This quilted history was never an ornament, but a gift of warmth, love made permanent.
The place in which we gather is shaken. So fall on your face and pray. Glorify your body. Anoint your head with oil. Fill your cup with boldness and debauchery. Drink the cup down to its dregs. Pour the earth out before you and prepare a table. Now, we will walk through still waters, green pastures, foaming wine, purple and scarlet, and 2,000 lilies of the valley of the shadow of death. We will find comfort in the waste places, sleep in the woods and dream. We will find grace in the wilderness, and we will lead, and we will follow. And when the dew rises, we will wake and lift our voices up among branches.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all of us clever enough to have transcended gender. It's wonderful to be here. It's an absolute honor, and I have to say a massive personal thank you to Kate O'Donnell. This is the first opportunity I've had to speak to so many people in Manchester, and I am very appreciative of this honour and this privilege. We are the future. To stand on this stage and see people holding candles as far as the eye can see is amazing. You are amazing. Everybody here is equally valid, equally justified, and has an equal right to be on this planet. We live on a planet, it's like a speck of sand in the never-ending, unfolding universe. And yet we are encouraged to be obsessed about bills, to be obsessed that maybe somebody doesn't love us sufficiently. Transcendence is what it's going to be about. We must transcend government as it currently is, the zombie government that we currently have, the right-wing media, which is now doing 3 generations of propagandizing all of us. Everybody currently here in Sackville Gardens is being exposed to right-wing propaganda. This must end. Thank you. Everybody here equally valid, equally justified, and has an equal right to be on this floating speck of sand in outer space. I can see you, every one of you. Do not allow your souls and spirits to be polluted by right-wing garbage. We have to transcend government, and hopefully we will start internationally by forming people's governments that have absolutely nothing to do with the governments that we currently have to live under. It's been a great privilege to be backstage, and I dedicate every word I'm saying to the Manchester migrants, to my friend and collaborator Lee Baxter, and also to Jerry Potter Poet. One day, you never know, they may allow him onto this stage where I am now. He believes in equality, he believes in truth, and he believes that some people shouldn't be in a shop doorway in their own excrement and urine, whilst other people are bobbing about the oceans in their luxury yachts. Everybody here equally valid, equally justified, and has an equal right to live on this speck of dust in the universe. I love you all sincerely. I've met some lovely people. Neil Bartlett and I, obviously, we are familiar with one another. It's been lovely to reconnect with such an amazing person, such an amazing intellect. I'm now going to not overrun. I now have the honor of reintroducing onto the stage very beautiful harmonies, the one and only Manchester Proud Chorus. Thank you very much. I love you all. Keep fab, keep strong. And I'm not saying this glibly. Kill all in authority.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, don't you realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can't lose sight of it all, and the darkness around you makes you feel so small. Show me your smile and don't be unhappy. Can't remember when I last saw you laughing. It's what makes you crazy. Oh, babe, call me out, 'cause I'll always be there. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a rainbow. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful like a rainbow. Give it up for the Manchester Pride Chorus. My name is Tolu. Some of you might know me as Noir T, especially with these heels. Make some noise for my outfit. Make some noise for your outfits. Make some noise for yourselves. And make some noise for the queerness, transness, intersexness, asexualness in this city. We are the Noir Tones. Oh, I put the in myself. We are Noir Tones, no the. Everybody say Noir Tones? We are majority melanated Manchester musicians making music of black and brown origin because we've been too long tokenized and performative and hidden in the shadows. Today, we're going to step into the light. This is the finale, Manchester. Make some noise. Ooh, oh, oh. Yeah. Mother forgive, we all trying to survive where we live. I'd rather feed the homes, take time to talk to the kids. Show them life ain't no walk on the bridge. Damn, as hard as it is. When I be dreaming big. In my hood, it way more epic road. We hear the shots echo. Seekers hanging from a telephone pole. In the worry there was remedy when times are cold. We had love from the family when times are cold. I sit and analyze the world from my project youth. Homeless child, lost in the streets loose. Huddleless child in the streets who. All you need is this real truth. Shows and family, me and you. Manchester in this city, queerdom is free and true. Liberation, jubilation, celebration, elevation, that's what we need in this nation. See your said his love wasn't meant to be. Two people from two different worlds, we wasn't meant to be. Mother's child in this thing. We are true, yeah, it's you and me. The standard fight, walk by faith and not by sight. Stop using your privilege to turn off my plight. No Instagram square is gonna change my fight. We ain't the same color when you turn off the lights. We see the sunshine with the pain. When my sorrow got sad, that's when it rains. No fridge, left the food on the window pane. We all breathe the same air, but we aren't the same. I need you to celebrate me for me. I will celebrate you and your uniqueness. I will celebrate you and your freeness. I will celebrate you and your liberation. I will celebrate you and your jubilation. I will celebrate you and your frustrations. I will celebrate you in spite of your impressions. I will celebrate you. Yes, I see your hey, I see your. That's why I love you. I see your. Your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. I see your true colors shining through. I see your. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true. I love you. True colors shine. I see your true colors. Every color of the rainbow, every struggle that you have. True colors. All the things that make you mad. True colors. Oh, shine through. I see. That's why I love you. Make some noise, it's a big Manchester Pride 2022. Keep that thing going. We are marching for peace, but we're resting in power. We want to live in that peace, and we want to live in that power. Keep going from the front to the back. Claps to all that Manchester can hear. LGBTQIA, freedom, liberation, jubilation, celebration. Each and every one of you, good night. Big love. Look around, see who's not here. There's no freedom for some unless there's freedom for all. Say it. There's no freedom for some unless there's freedom for all. Good night. God bless. We'll see you here same time next year. Peace.